Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we have some correspondence.
We do, a letter dated June 15th, 2017, from Regan Cushing. Susan Sullivan, I regret to inform you that I have to resign from my position as library page due to the demands and hours of my full-time job. I feel that I cannot fully commit myself to the library as needed. Please accept this letter as my formal notice, and I will be leaving as of Monday, June 15th, 2017. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have worked for the Dodge Memorial Library. I greatly appreciate it. Best regards, Regan Cushing, and this is for informational purposes.
That falls under the purview of the library board, we don't need to make a motion.
Okay.
So we're all set. Okay, I have a pleasant duty now, presentation of proclamation of July 4th poster winner. And that would be Olivia LaPointe. Olivia here? Olivia, can you come up here? I'm gonna walk around front. I'm gonna need to keep my glasses on because I won't be able to read it if I don't. Gary, you're gonna stay here and hand or something? Okay. So, whereas the Rouses Point July 4th Committee again this year asked the elementary classes of NCCS Rouses Point Elementary School to create a picture depicting the July 4th celebration. Whereas the elementary classes of the NCCS Rouses Point Elementary School participated by submitting pictures to be used for this event, and whereas Olivia LaPointe, a fifth grader at the NCCS Rouses Point Elementary School, submitted a picture which was chosen by the Rouses Point 4th of July Committee as a winning entry. And there's a picture of it right there. Beautiful flag, Statue of Liberty, America. Dates,
Here.
1776 to 2017. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point would like to thank Olivia for her efforts in creating this picture, and further be it resolved that I, Daniel H. Letourneau, Mayor of the Village of Rouses Point, present Olivia with this proclamation honoring her outstanding effort. Olivia, thank you very much. I appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations too. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And don't forget, when you get older, run for the board. Sit on this side.
As far as you can, as fast as you can.
You don't have to stay for the whole board meeting if you don't want to.
If you guys want, yeah.
If you want to get up and leave, you can. Yeah.
Certainly, yeah.
Thank you. Or you can stay. We're not throwing you out.
We're not throwing you out, no.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on here is report on the status of the Rouses Point Police Department dissolution. As you know, we've been working towards finding a way to dissolve the Rouses Point Police Department while maintaining a law enforcement presence in the village. We're fortunate to have found a mechanism to do that, and with the Clinton County Sheriff's Department through shared services and the Municipal Restructuring Fund project. At the present time, we are still awaiting publication of our local law, which will formalize the dissolution of the police department. And once we get that back from legal, we'll have it published, and then 30 days later, we'll have a public hearing, and at that point, we can vote on the dissolution. As you know, the Sheriff's Department will soon begin a larger presence here in the village. And we're working on getting all of the equipment and files and everything else transferred from the Rouses Point PD to the Clinton County Sheriff's Office. It's a process we think is probably gonna take until March of 2018. The Sheriff's Department is leading that up. At the present time, our chief is spending probably 20% of his time during the day working on that. We think this is we know this is gonna be a tax savings of about $147,000. It represents about 25% of our total tax revenues. And we will go from having on-site police protection 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, the sheriff's office will establish a substation. It won't be manned 24 hours, but there will be sheriff's deputies in our village and immediate area every day. And we expect them to become an integral part of our law enforcement plan here in Rouses Point. It's not gonna cost the taxpayers anything to do this. Any expenses that we have, for instance, the sheriff will be transferring one of our police vehicles to the sheriff. The other one, which was purchased with village funds, is gonna be rebranded. We'll have all the equipment taken off it and have the village of Rouses Point brand on it and be used by another department. And the New York State Department of State Municipal Restructuring Fund project will pay for that. So this is a great opportunity for us. Obviously, it's a sad day to think about the Rouses Point PD not being in existence. It's been has a long and proud history here in Rouses Point. But the residents still can be assured there's going to be a strong law enforcement presence, and they will have someone that can be called if they need assistance, and can continue to report issues, to us at the village, to the clerk, to me, to any of the trustees, and the sheriff will see to it that those complaints are investigated. So, again, we don't have a timeline, but I know our chief will be transferring to the Clinton County Sheriff's Department, and he will become an employee of theirs. Even after that happens, the Sheriff's Department is going to continue to transition the records, the evidence, the computer terminals regarding the law enforcement, the data master for DUI, all those things are gonna happen. So it's I think it's a fortunate time for this to happen, with the state pushing for shared services and with this restructuring fund available to us. So we're fortunate that it's happening. And trustees, do you have any comments on that, or anything you want to say?
I think it's just a great thing for the village.
Coming at the right time.
We're
That's for
gonna
sure.
get triple the coverage, and it's not gonna cost us anything.
It was, we were very fortunate, and it worked out.
Very
for
much
us.
so.
Worked out for us, so. Okay. Now, we have a budget modification resolution. And the reason this resolution is, it's because there had to be an adjustment in an employee's salary, which was previously underpaid. So this is Resolution 2017-28, whereas the Board of Trustees deems it advisable to make certain modifications to the 2017-2018 budget, be it therefore resolved that the budget officer is authorized and directed to make the following modifications to the village budget for fiscal year 17-18. Water fund appropriations, water supply, power and pump, personal services plan operators increase $458. Social Security and Medicare increase $35, for a total of $493. An increase in appropriated fund balance and a decrease in the appropriation. I'd like a motion to approve this budget modification.
So move.
Second?
Okay, trustee Arno,
Aye.
trustee Dart,
Aye.
trustee Batha,
Aye.
trustee Bernard,
Aye.
resolution is carried. Thank you. I will turn the meeting over to trustee Arno.
The only thing I think I had, I don't know about the signage of the Civic Center, I don't, what is that all about?
Is that for the rec trail?
Probably about, is it about your, you have the weigh stations for the dogs?
Yes, I got the weigh station, dog weigh stations are ordered.
So we'll probably need to order a sign that says dogs allowed on leash.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? We need to,
Oh, Johnny Bernard is making that up for us. Well, he's writing up a thing on it. Because the one that they had was just a dog on it showed a dog on a leash, but they didn't show nothing about Cooper Scoopers or whatever, nothing like that.
all right.
So he's making a sign up and seeing, get a price from,
Okay.
the vendor and stuff
So I
like
think
that.
that's
Oh,
probably
okay,
what that
so,
was.
okay, that's all I have
So
then.
we'll hear about what the price is whenever he gets it.
Is
Right.
that in the village code? Does anyone know about prohibiting dogs on the rec center property?
I have not looked at the.
I
village
forgot to
code.
look it up.
Well,
But
it
that's
was
something
in
we
the
might wanna
village
look
code.
at, because we might have to change that, because
Yeah,
now they're
if it
gonna
was
be allowed.
created, if it
Right,
was
it
created
was-
by resolution, it can be dissolved by resolution.
Right, there was a law in the village that said you can't have a
Right.
dog on village, or in the park, or
Yeah.
here, or whatever.
If it's in the code and it was created by a resolution, we can, dissolve it by
Dissolve it.
resolution. If it was created, by a formal act, then we have to, it's called legislative equivalency, we have to do the same thing, but
Yeah.
it's probably resolution, so
Yeah.
we'll get to that once you get the,
We need to research that a little bit.
Yeah. okay,
Mhm. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
thank you, sir. All right, trustee Dart,
Two things, both to do with the sewer plant and one of our customers. I have a letter here from Wyeth, even though the name says Pfizer on the door up there, it says Wyeth, 64 Maple Street. June 15th, 2017, it was addressed to Timothy Graves, our wastewater treatment plant operator, but also was addressed to Mr. Reed, and I understand he's the previous operator.
do what?
So I'll read their request. What it is because they are industrial and because they deal with chemicals and whatever else and all the laws, which I don't sit here to pretend to understand, they need a user permit to dump anything into our wastewater system. It goes 2 years at a time, then it can be automatically renewed at our approval and their request. And I'll read the letter. It says, "This letter shall serve as a formal request to renew Wyeth's industrial user permit to be attached 2012-01, issued by the Village of Rouses Point. Wyeth's current permit will expire at midnight on September 20th, 2017. In accordance with section 94-85 of the Village of Rouses Point Code, which I did not look up, that's the correct code. Wyeth is applying for reissuance 90 days prior to the existing of our, prior to the expiration of our existing permit. Proposed revisions as a result of the demolition of the chemical development facility are shown in red ink. And I haven't seen red ink here, but it's supposed to be attached.
It's on there, it's just, when they
It's in black.
photocopied, it came out black.
Okay, right. And this was signed by Mark McCullough, and he is an employee right up here at Wyeth, Pfizer, and Rouse's Point.
We can.
No, just something mayor signs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something that requires board approval, it's just signed by
Right.
the mayor, but
Yeah, it was informational purposes only.
absolutely.
Okay.
The second thing I got, you heard me mention here maybe a month or so ago, we weren't quite sure where landfills were going with the acceptance of sludge from villages, towns, and whatever. And so a Canadian company was pretty interested in giving us a quote for hauling our dried sludge to Canada, and apparently they were gonna turn it into some kind of fertilizer or something for gardens. I had Mr. Graves get a quote from them, and quite frankly, the quote is a letter which is 3 pages long, and it contains everything, including diesel fuel increases to the Canadian-American dollar to, we'll have to pay them if they come down here for a 60-ton load and we only have 30. So in discussion with Mr. Graves, I said, you know, they're really tying our hands for something where we're only gonna save a couple dollars a ton. If we were gonna ship out 50 ton this year, 50 to 80 ton, which is Mr. Graves' estimate, then, you know, $100 difference, I don't think is worth getting involved with a company from another country, plus everything, all the hoops we'd have to jump through. So it'd be my recommendation that we stay with the current hauler, which is 3Js. 3Js is owned locally. The people that own 3Js also have their home in Rouses Point. And we got prices from Winterbottom Trucking, and we also called Drumac over in Swanton, because I read in the paper that Drumac has just entered into a contract with the city of Plattsburgh. But they weren't interested in returning our phone calls, I guess. The Winterbottom Company, trucking company, is $2 a ton under 3Js. But they want to set up an account with us, and they might have special payment terms, which 3Js doesn't have. We'd also, in either case, we're gonna have to set up an account with Franklin County Landfill, which Mr. Graves has looked into, and it's not a problem at all. So it would be my proposal that we stay with the local people that we have here now that are hauling it now. We know we're not having any problems, and it's a village resident.
How long do you anticipate it'll take them to clean everything out of there? We got a 2-year backlog of
Yeah,
sludge.
we got a 2-year backlog, and if he takes 80 ton this year, that's gonna take over 3/4 of it. And he has a yearly budget for it, but what he's been doing is trying to hang off, and this is his first experiment with it, trying to hang off into every 2 years. And the longer it stays, the drier it gets. So per ton, we save money. Plus, he's found that coming this August, he'll have 2 years worth up there. So there's probably no more than 100 ton up there. He wants to get rid of 50 to 80 ton this year.
Good.
Sounds good.
So we have a current contract, and we don't have to renew it or anything.
That's right. The only thing we'd have to do is we'd have to set up an account with Franklin County Landfill, which I believe Mr. Graves said that
He's already have done?
he's gonna do it if so the board wishes. He could do it, or he could get help from the administration if he needed it.
I need to call on your expertise there, Mr. Treasurer, to set up that account. Do we have to do any, and do we need a motion, or what do we need? Okay, all right, so, sounds like we've got a plan. You can tell Mr. Graves, I mean, it's not broken, so we don't have to fix it.
Yep.
Landfill wants $45 a ton, just for information, and 3Js wants $18 a ton for trucking it. So that's the business we're in.
Okay, $63 a ton.
Is he shovel it on?
100 tons is only, 100 tons.
I'll let you ask.
$6,300 for 100 tons.
That's,
Yeah, that's 2 years.
Plus 1,800 in
let's
trucks.
get it out of here.
And he has an allocated budget, which I'm not gonna mention the amount, but
That's
it
public, it's public.
covers it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
With
sir.
a carryover from last year.
Excellent.
Those monies will get carried over automatically.
Okay. Well, it's flexible, the amount he can take. If he has to stay within a certain amount, then we can do that.
I'd like him to get rid of as much as he can now
Yeah.
and appropriate additional funds if we need
Yeah,
to.
that's his intention, to get rid of a lot of it in August. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Nardi.
I have nothing at this time.
Okay, trustee Baffin.
I had requested this thing in the police department of summer hours. I was going to suggest or request that we get our police coverage on Friday and Saturday nights, 4 to 12 or 7 to 3 or something in the evenings, because that's when 90% of the activity in the village takes place. With the new revelation that we just had tonight, that the police chief's gonna be going and probably about,
Well, we don't know that. Maybe, earlier.
but,
He's
we're
involved,
thinking September, now it looks like the middle of,
yeah.
I'd like to see it, but I don't know how the board feels now, if it's worth doing it for 4 weeks or so.
Well, he's involved so much daily in this transition and coordinating things. And, like last week, he had a motor vehicle accident and about 18 other complaints during the day. Between that and what he's doing, there's just not enough time in the day for him to get everything done. So we're gonna ride it out until the sheriff takes over and,
I'm willing to wait, since we're not waiting till September now, because I just didn't want it to go all summer with no weekend coverage,
all right,
again.
thank you.
So that's all I have right now.
Appreciate it, sir. Okay, Madam Clerk, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
Okay. Madam Administrator, have anything?
I'd like to take a minute to congratulate the individuals that participated in the Cooper Fitness, physical fitness exam competition. Wasn't really a competition, but this year.
Evaluation.
We were up probably 4 individuals, which is great,
Absolutely.
yes. That's it for me, thank you.
There you go. Mr. Treasurer,
I don't have anything this evening.
Mr. Pelkey?
Update on the water plant project. The pump that we're working on right now, the number 2 pump, is just about piped. It'll be piped this week and wired. So hopefully we'll get some control power and we'll get it up and running. And you start taking the other one apart.
We got all couple.
This one here is a little slow because we're fabricating as we go.
Okay.
And as we're fabricating, we're multiplying it by 2, so
Good.
the other parts will be ready.
All right.
So the other side should go a lot faster. We poured all the pads out the walk path for the benches and the exercise equipment, and the street department came down and they topsoiled for 2 days down here, and that's about all I could give them with our other workload that we
Yeah,
have.
looks good.
And
Yes, very good. Very nice, they did a good job.
the line crew's been helping out. They topsoiled the rest of Chapman Street for us, and Smith Street, where we did the water line last year.
Yeah, I saw 'em up
The residents up there are really pleased to get some grass seed. Our electrical engineer will be here tomorrow. I'll be meeting with him for the next couple days to go over some substation projects that I'm working on.
Okay.
We'll get some quotes on getting some transformers cleaned up and refurbished, cleaned out. So if anyone wants to meet our electrical engineer, he will be available for the next couple days.
Also, you did the project over here, Mr. Moore's property?
Yeah, we changed the switch over here last Monday. That went very well, took us about an hour. That switch is, we're better protected than what we were before. This one here has different options to it that makes our life easier to find problems. We did have a power outage on Pratt Street the other night. We had a piece of equipment fail, which it does happen. But the line crew, they got back on. so.
You got the pads poured for the exercise equipment. When do you anticipate dropping that stuff on there?
When we get a couple nice days, I mean, our workload is pretty heavy right now.
You think it'll be before the 4th of July?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
We want it done before the 4th of July. I know there was some concerns about the traffic out there.
This stuff's pretty tough stuff. I mean, things are going along and so, but, you know the problems in the timeline. Let's try to do it as fast as we can. I know you're doing that, so.
Yeah, we have sewers that we're working on, and we had a couple water problems, so,
Right,
and the weather's not very cooperative.
okay. All right, I have one more item in the open session here. I would like a motion to return the administrator's hours from 30 hours per week to 40 hours per week, and restore all of the benefits which were reduced under her 30-hour week.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
That doesn't need to be done in a roll call, because we did it in a roll call when we put it down to 30.
okay, we can do that, trustee Dart. Trustee Arnold,
Aye.
trustee Dart,
Aye.
trustee Bernard,
Aye.
and trustee Batha.
Aye.
Okay, motion's carried, thank you for that suggestion. I now open the meeting to any public comment.
Oh, I have one other thing.
Oh,
Okay.
Let me back up.
Okay,
Trustee Arnold has one more thing.
we have, the farmer's market, every Friday from 3 to 7 now. I'm sure it's every,
Where's that
starting this
located?
weekend.
Where's that located?
And, library lawn,
Library.
from 3 to 7 every Friday. And we also have the 4th of July coming up, and Kieran Gilroy needs help, I'm sure. And if anybody in the village would like to help him, call Kieran Gilroy. Alrighty, thank you.
Probably can reach him through the Legion?
Yes, sir, also in the book too, the
Okay,
phone book.
Yeah.
all right. You're a brave man, we appreciate all your efforts.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
we do.
Brave man. Okay, any comments from the public?
Yes, Dan, could we advise Leah that little girl got that award tonight before she leaves, because she came here a little bit late?
Oh, yeah,
will
I
you?
will, I can give you the young lady's name. She received the award for the poster winner.
Yes.
We'll do that as soon as we're done here, okay? Okay, so, I understand you want to make a motion?
I want to make a motion to go into executive session, because we didn't quite finish what we wanted to under the first, second item,
To discuss the,
to discuss personnel discussion.
discuss
Yes.
employment history of a particular person.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a second for that?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Discussion? Okay, we will recess, now, that we're in executive session, and ask the